This story about Sonic 2 may contain some spoilers and coarse language, but if that doesn't bother you, have fun watching and enjoying this story. Sonic 2 really is one hell of a game. It's the best-selling non-pack-in Sega Genesis game, and wow, is it a stunning improvement from the first. This video, however, isn't really a review of Sonic 2. It's more of a retrospective of the impact this game in particular had on me. A lot of people have games that impact them, and I'm no different. Sonic 2 as a game and Sonic as a franchise have both left a huge influence on me. I want to take some time to talk about all these moments this lone game influenced my life or was around in happy moments, and hopefully you'll find some fun in all these stories. Well, the easiest place to start is at the very beginning. Sonic 2 is one of the first games I've ever played. My parents have been vehemently telling me that it was a Jumpstart game or Toy Story that I played first, both on PC. Even if that's true, Sonic 2 was my first taste of a console game. Back in the late 90s, my neighbor's brother had a lot of game consoles, but he didn't trust his sister, my friend, we'll call her Lime for simplicity, and I with the CD consoles, so we never got to play his Saturn or PS1. However, her and I got to play the Genesis, and wow, did we play Sonic 2 a lot. We would both play the co-op and multiplayer, and we'd always have fun. I remember Lime used to say Tails was really cute, and thought Tails was a girl. I've heard that was common back in the day, which is kinda weird looking back. There was always one part we got stuck on, though. It was Chemical Plant Act 2. It wasn't the water section, surprisingly enough. We always got past that just fine. It was the part after, where you had to jump on the moving platforms. Try as we might, we were just so damn stupid, and we couldn't figure out what to do there. Like, wow, being a kid sucked. You were really fucking stupid, and that section helped prove it. There was, however, one time we actually did get past it. We fought Robotnik and jumped into Aquatic ruin. It was insane. We've never seen this far into the game. Yet, we screwed up. We fell onto the bottom path of Aquatic Ruin Act 2 and lost all our lives. I do remember that we did make it to Aquatic Ruin again one time, and we even made it to Casino Night. But we lost all our lives there too. Jeez, kids are bad at games, it's crazy. But I think that's one kind of fun story to talk about. But this was the start of a sphere of influence, if you will. When you're a kid, you and I both know that you're dumb and only associate with the things you know because new things are weird and usually not something you actively look for. At least it wasn't for me, and everyone else I knew growing up. When I grew up, I usually got licensed games like SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, or Fairly OddParents Break Into Rules, or Ed, Edd n Eddy Misadventures. Of course, I did get a bunch of Sonic games at the time too. Sonic Advance was one of the first Game Boy Advance games I got, and once I got a GameCube, I did get a Sonic game, but my first wasn't something like Heroes or Adventure DX. It was Mega Collection. When I saw it as a kid, I read, "Wow, 7 games in 1, I gotta get it, it's a deal!" Glad I wasn't completely stupid as a kid. You may have your doubts on that later, or before, I may have just been terrible at Sonic 2 at 2 or 3 years old. When I booted it up, I found out, hey, they're all old Sonic games. What did I play on that? Sonic 2, duh! This time, however, I actually got really far into it. I was going to beat the Death Egg robot. But I didn't. I ran out of lives, and not beating a very early childhood game to me at that point was eating at me. This was also when I learned about cheat codes. With them, I used level select and debug mode to fight the boss. I did beat Sonic 2, in an empty feeling way. But now I knew what I could do to fight it with rings. Well, I could try again ringless. This was also the first time I got to play other Sonic games on the Genesis. I played Sonic 1, got bored, and stopped. That seems to be people's impressions as soon as Marble Zone hits. Sonic 3 was fun though, got to blast right through it, until that stupid barrel, And of course, it had barely any context that hitting up or down did anything, so that game ended at that stupid fucking barrel. Eventually, I did play Sonic 2 again and beat it normally. It was a good feeling. I felt like a kid at the Scholastic Book Fair at that point. It was just a great feeling. Oh god, do they still have those? It helped reminded me of how nice those times were back then. Lime, unfortunately, by the time I got those games, moved away. There eventually did come a time where Lime and I were hanging out at my place, and I asked her if she remembered when we played Sonic 2 all the time. She said yeah, and was curious if I had it. I did. While she didn't want to play co-op, we were hanging out and talking, but she was also impressed with how fast I was able to beat the game. Hell, I even did a jump where I completely skipped that section of Chemical Plant that we were struggling on so much. She saw the ending and was impressed with how cool it looked. Lime isn't really a gamer anymore by this point, but it was fun to gauge her reaction to it and sort of close the book for her too. Man, I wonder if Sonic 2 has gotten me into other things. Oh yeah, it did. It got me into ROM hacks when I got my first ROM of Sonic 2 Retro Remix. That's a fun one. That was a really fun game, honestly. The first game I got when I hacked my PSP to play Sega Genesis emulators on there was, of course, Contra Hardcore. Oh, you thought it was Sonic, but no, it was Sonic 2 eventually. I did play it on there. But honestly, I think the last biggest memory of this game would be when I met with friends for a convention in 2018. Sonic and Sega Fan Jam was a convention. There were a lot of people there I got to meet, like Simon Tomley and T-Lopes. Great guys. Simon Tomley is a real dude, and I love talking to him about programming stuff. I also got to meet some of my internet friends there for the first time. Of that, my best friend, let's call him Redneck Gamers because that's who he is. Redneck and I rented out a hotel room together for a couple days, and made the trip easy because he drove while I flew. Now, there was an event going on at Sonic and Sega Fan Jam. It was the Sonic Mania competition contest. We would play the multiplayer competition mode, and the grand prize, which was changed from meeting the Mania devs themselves, which pissed me off when I figured that out, was a Sega Genesis with 10 games to come with it. So with that, Redneck, myself, and our mutual friend, Arobian Angel, but we'll call him Nathan to keep it simple, all entered it. Us three like to race in Sonic Mania when we get the chance. We're not speedrunners, well, they're not, but it's a fun, healthy competition. But Redneck and Nathan both have a Genesis of their own, so if any of them win, I'd get it too. Nathan and Redneck fought with Redneck winning, and then he and I fought in the semifinals with me winning.
No way you can stop me!
Then of course I was at the finals. Oh, am I gonna get that Sega Genesis? Oh, you better stay tuned. I made the person I was racing against game over, which was automatic forfeit, so I won. Yeah, it's a little anticlimactic, but when you do crazy shit like this as Ray, and the announcer goes, "Oh, look at that! Wow, he did that!" or something related to that, yeah, that's GG. While Redneck and I were waiting for the rest of our posse after Fan Jam ended, we were checking to make sure all the games and the console itself actually worked. They all worked, except for Echo the Dolphin. But they were also dirty, and the B button on one of the controllers was broken. But of course, the question came up. We're going to play something, right? Easy to narrow it down, what of my 10 games had the best multiplayer? Streets of Rage, baby! But with the broken B button, that's not happening. Sonic 2, though. That's what happened instead. We both played it like hell, and I mean like hell. But, you know, Mania champion over here, and I was beating Redneck pretty good most of the time. Redneck and I played for a while until the other boys, Nathan and our other friend Brian, came popping in with Midnight McDonald's. We had it, and then we made fun of our friends, and it was all a great time. But of course, Sonic 2 was just one portion of it, but it was kind of nice that it just sort of circled back to it. I felt very complete at that point. It was just a very good moment. That unfortunately wraps up all the stories of Sonic 2 that I have. But what's the point I'm making? Well, lots of things can influence your life, or be in good or bad moments. But as far as games go, Sonic 2 was a forefront on some life events for me. Whenever I do get around to reviewing Sonic 2, you'll at least know where I'm coming from on the subjective side. But one thing I do know was that it, along with many other games, influenced me to go for a programming career, and let me make games of my own. You can check out my first project, Necrolepsy, on Steam right now. It's an action platformer with some momentum physics, a la Sonic 2. But it has a demo for you to try out, and it doesn't cost too much. My second project is in active development, Draco Blood. It's an action RPG with also some minor momentum in it too, and you can check it out at the Patreon linked below. Well, that about covers it. Sonic 2's great, and it's definitely not the only game that had an influence on me. I'm always willing to share more, so consider this a pilot. If it has a good reception, I'm definitely going to be making more. Not just stories, but side-related things to gaming, because believe me, I've got a lot of ideas already. I sure do love Sonic 2's first revision. Yeah, I'm gonna take that back.